Hey guys, Dan here with Battlefield Curator, Grant with Milsurp Lifestyle on Instagram. Right now, I don't know how long they're really gonna last, but they got them in the South store, the North store, and the Talladega store. Krag-Jorgensen, aka model 1892 to 1899s, Springfield rifles. This one is specifically a 1898 model. We'll go look at them a little bit later. But this one here has a nice little cartouche on the stock, and this one says 1899 on the stock here. It's also got a pattern 1901 rear sight. Interesting, you're gonna get a lot of variances in the rear sights. They kept changing them around all the time, so you might see some with early pattern rear sights, and that might be later. You might see some later rifles with early pattern sights. There's a smooth bolt action rifle. You open this here to drop in some cartridges and close it, and then you could load it and fire it. They got a lot of flack for this rifle. The military did for choosing a foreign design. These are originally Norwegian designed over American designed rifles during trials testing. So even though in 1892 this was adopted as the standard service rifle for the American military, they didn't start getting manufactured until 1894. The main reason why they didn't actually start manufacturing this until 1894 was pretty much because a lot of politicians, a lot of American gun businesses, they raised all kinds of flags saying, hey, that trials testing y'all did for the Krag-Jorgensen was rigged. There's no way that that rifle is better than what we got. So they had to do a trials testing again. They had to go through all this madness, so these actually didn't get manufactured until 1894. Interesting. When we talk about the Springfield 1892 to 99 rifles, we are also talking about the time frame when they were used by the US military. The major wars during that time frame that these would have been used in would be the Spanish-American War and the Philippine Insurrection. Now, the Spanish-American War, you probably saw the 1896s. They were just 1896s and 1894 models used in that conflict. The Philippine Insurrection, you saw them all, and this would be the 1898 model right here. So this could have been used in the Philippine Insurrection. Not a very well-known rifle in American military service history because it was very short-lived. 1892 to 1903 was pretty much their service life. CMP's got these. They're beautiful. Most of the Krags that you'll find, most of the Springfield rifles you'll find these days will be cut short. They will be sporterized. People put sights on them. They were very popular in American hunting in the early 1900s, and even later on. 30-40 Krag is what they fire, and that today is the downside of these because it's just really hard to find 30-40 Krag, and it's expensive. But if you do like having American military service rifle from that era, this is what you'll be looking for.
Okay, so I was checking out the Krag selection here, and they actually have a decent amount. I'm always a sucker for, anything that looks to be in good condition, especially wood-wise. Some of these still had cartouches on the stock. I'll see if I can find one for the video like this right here.
Yeah, look at that.
And that's really nice to see.
Oh, 1901.
And a bunch of these have 1 and 2 muzzle readings, which is always great to see, at their age, that those will be really, shootable guns. Price is about $13.50. I haven't seen really much variation around that. But, again, this is way more of a selection than I was expecting. I'm not sure how many more there are. I know they expect these to sell fast.
So when I look for certain rifles, I look for certain features. I'm going to look for some early features and see if I can find something that's probably 1892, maybe 1896 configuration. It's going to be kind of hard. First thing I'd notice is that none of these have the flat barrel band, which is the very early 1892 models. But I do see some variance in the rear sights, so I'll try to see if I can find one that's a very early rear sight. All right, so this rear sight here is an 1896 pattern. It's kind of like a curve up on that rear sight. It looks like it probably was changed out. It looks like it used to be a different rear sight. If you look at the top handguard, it's got this big gap here. So it might have been changed back to this type of sight. All right, so a lot of times on the left side of the receiver, you'll see where it says model 1894 1894, or it might say 1896, or it might say 1898. One way to tell also for what model you have is by looking at the where the bolt handle sits in. If you see, this one here is a model 1896, and that's the model 1898. So anything pre-96 is going to have this metal bolt handle like rest, whereas the 1898 and above are going to have just that wood there. The majority of the Krag rifles I'm seeing are going to be the 1898 patterns. There seems to be a few 1896s. I didn't see any 1894s, but Krag rifles in this configuration are really hard to come by because most of them were sporterized in the 1950s, 1940s. So if you're looking for one in like full military configuration, here you have them. I got Antonio here. Antonio, what is the CMP?
So the CMP stands for Civilian Marksmanship Program. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Our main goal is to promote marksmanship through firearms training, safety, competitions, and with an emphasis on youth programs.
And I know you guys have a lot of military surplus weapons, military surplus gear, little knickknacks, equipment, slings. What else does the CMP offer?
So the CMP offers, also we have an e-store online. You can go on there and see everything that we have to offer. We have a bunch of new hats. Here's one of them right here.
Nice.
We actually have some new shirts, some different things that we're trying to put in our stores just to try to broaden what we do here at CMP. We have air rifle programs, 2 different state-of-the-art air rifle facilities, one in Anniston, Alabama. We also have one in Camp Perry, Ohio. So if you're not doing anything, go check those out. Have younger kids who you want to get them, training. You want to start them out on the lighter side of the firearm side, start over at our air ranges. Also, in Talladega, Alabama, the home of marksmanship, we call it the CMP Talladega Marksmanship Park, the most technologically advanced shooting range in the United States.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
Didn't even know that.
Oh,
That's
definitely,
awesome.
Definitely. It's located right here in Talladega, Alabama. It's kind of sort of in the middle of nowhere, but when you find it, it is a gym. It's only about 5 to 7 miles right behind the Talladega Super Speedway.
All right, awesome. And where can we find out more about the CMP online?
So you can find out more about the CMP, just go to thecmp.org. If you want to follow us on Instagram, we have multiple Instagram platforms. We have CMP Talladega if you want to follow the range and what's going on at the range. Or you can follow the CMP org on there, and that's where we put a lot of our announcements, a lot of our flyers, what we have coming up, different travel games, different matches, different competitions. Also, we have Facebook pages, the Civilian Marksmanship Program. You can go on there. That's where we post a lot of information. We try to get the word out. And then for those people that don't like social media or don't do social media, we have an email list. You can go and subscribe to our email list where we also send out newsletters monthly to help people keep up with CMP.
All right, thanks for your time, Antonio.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yes, sir.
All right, 3040 Krag, also known as 30 U.S. Army. To load the Krag rifle, you would just open the little box here on the side. It's got a spring in there. You just kind of put rounds in there. I'm going to put 3 rounds to see how well it works. There's a little hiccup here. This side's, there we go. So as you can see, that dumping rounds in there might not always be the most efficient way of loading this rifle. Sounds good on paper though. Where'd that go?
Your head.
Oh, I meant like the shot.
Oh, low.
It was low?
Yeah. That's what the dirt flew up in front of it.
All right, ready?
Yep. Got him.
I think this rifle is dead on.
I look high left. Do you still hit it? Same spot. Smack. That was center. Low left. Close though. Got it. Got it. Right. Got it.
All right, this is a Mauser M1893. As you can see, it's a little bit more of a modern platform that is very recognizable, unlike the Krag, very unique in its design. Now, it's been around for a long time, and they've refined their rifles, and up to this point, the Mauser 1893 was probably the best of the best, shooting the 7mm Mauser. The Spanish used them, South American countries used them, Central American countries. It's an overall very smooth rifle. Now, we're gonna load 3 rounds, and I'm just gonna load these single, but you can load them with the which I will get to later. Now, one thing about the Mauser that users really liked was the ability that it could take triple clips. Now, it wasn't until later on that the Krag actually got a clip itself for loading, but still the platform was not the best for loading. With the stripper clip, you can load much faster than trying to find rounds and put them in properly. With this, it's easy. Just put the stripper clip on and just load it up like that. Well, that's it for the video. If you found value in this video, be sure to pulverize that like button and subscribe for the algorithms. It really helps out with the channel. Appreciate it. And as always, be sure to learn history and curate history. Make it a great day.